We'll call the Clewiston City Commission meeting to order. It's August 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m., 5:01 p.m. If you would, please stand. I have Pastor Jeff Smith that's going to give us our invocation this evening, then join me in the pledge.
Would you bow your heads with me, please? Father God, thank you so much for this beautiful day that in which you have blessed us with. Father, I ask your blessing on the city council tonight and everyone gathered, that they might do your will. That's what is pleasing and well for the people of this wonderful city. And Father, let us give you all the glory and all the adoration. We love you and praise you, and we thank you for blessing this sweetest city called Clewiston. In Christ's name, amen.
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 I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Madam Clerk, if you do the roll call.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Edmonds,
Here.
Commissioner Gardner,
Here.
Commissioner Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Heislope,
Here.
Mayor Pittman,
Here.
City Manager Williams,
Here.
City Attorney Tuck.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
All right, City Manager, any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Mayor.
All right. Any comments from the public at this time on any non-agenda item? You're welcome to come to the microphone. Seeing no movement, we'll move on to the consent agenda. There are 5 items under that consent agenda.
Move that we approve.
Second.
Motion by Gardner, second by Highslope. Any further?
Sorry. Is that all of it's under the consent agenda?
The first 5 items.
Then I'd like to pull out number 5 for discussion.
Okay, we'll pull 5. Your motion's good,
Okay.
except for 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second by Highslope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 5.
Okay. I know that we've gone with a Garing Group recently, and I really would like for them to review what we're doing as far as retirement offerings to the city. And before we make a jump on contribution amounts, I think we should at least have them review it and come back with maybe the same recommendation. But, and the reason why I'm saying that is that it's going from 6% to 9%. It's a $200,000 hit to our budget. And we've had lots of budget discussions, but we haven't talked about the impact of the retirement plans. And so I just think I don't disagree that maybe incrementally we should go up, or maybe it should be all at one time, but we've just brought in a new firm to look at, our benefits, and just would like to talk to them about it.
The Goering Group only does the medical.
Okay,
The
it doesn't
health.
do
No.
the retirement.
Ma'am.
And so the retirement is through Mrs. Rosen still?
No, it'll be
This is
through,
the old one.
be
It's
through
in- yeah.
Al,
Through who?
This group.
Okay. Well, again, we have it on the consent agenda. We haven't discussed it, and I just think it's something that we should discuss.
Yeah, Randy wants to talk about it for just a minute.
Hello, Randy Maxson, Director of Finance. So what we're talking about in general is currently in the city's 401A plan, the contribution to the city employees is 6% of their pay. And that was previously held with the standard. And then during this year, as we had moved around some of our benefits, or all of our benefits, our John Hancock, which is the 457, and the 401A, which was at the standard, were combined now with Empower. And our local rep is not Ms. Rosin, it's Al. So Al is kind of our advisor on that. I believe the Garing Group, although they do benefits primarily, I don't know all their services, but they might have insight, even though it's not directly affected by them, they might have insight as to what other cities are doing that are outside the FRS system and whatnot.
But you bring up some good points, and so I think that all that whole discussion, I mean, maybe we need to look at all the benefits and decide and having them do the presentation and look at it. To me, it just seems like a jump from 6 to 9 without any of the information that you might have, Randy, or that maybe Lakeisha might have, or might Danny have, and just have it under the consent agenda. I mean, I'd rather have a discussion about it. And even who is administering this for us? You're saying now it's not John Hancock, it's Empower, right?
Correct.
Okay, so somewhere along the line that changed, and maybe we did approve it, but I'd like that information.
Sure. And the primary driver was this year for FRS for their pension system for their general employees. I'm not referring to like law enforcement or firefighters. They did increase from 12% to 14% this year. And so that's
Talking about under FRS.
under FRS.
Right, but
And
those
it was
are-
just a
but-
function of trying to keep up, we're at 6, trying to,
But they're high risk. FRS is.
no,
on
this
the-
is for the general employees. The general employee contribution is 14%. So if we went to FRS, the city's contribution for all employees,
Right, but we're not under FRS for the city
understood, but
employees.
if we were, it would
Okay.
be a 14%.
Okay. All right.
yeah.
And I know that you've
Just
looked
trying
at
to
all
give
those
us a-
calculations, but,
Judgment, right.
Just, that was the point. And that's just the history behind it is all I can kind of add standing here. And I can go
Right,
back
yeah.
if you think you've got at least the history behind what it is.
So are you saying, so it is an increase, it's not a combination? At first, it sounded like you were talking about 401A and John Hancock being separate.
They are. So you have the city has a 457 plan that's similar to a 401A, or a 401K that you would have in a, so the city matches 3% on that. So if I put in 5%, the city matches 3% there. The city also has a non-contributory, that's just where the city puts in the 6% in the 401A. So in total, if somebody does contribute to the 457 plan, that's 3%. And then the city would put in 6% in the 401A, that gets us to 9% as a city match. And then going up to 2% or 3% would bring that to 12, which is just trying to keep up with FRS. That was the
Gotcha.
intent behind it.
Gotcha.
We're there at about 14, and we were just trying not to get too far behind, was the idea of the, or the spirit of the change, I guess.
Yeah.
and I can understand that. I just think it's, I mean, I was thinking about the Gehring Group, but whoever it is, I'd just like a review of all our retirement plans and what we have. Because I know at one time we had defined contribution and we did away with that, that plan, or us funding that plan because of the risk for the city, was
That
huge.
plan is still around. It has 15
Yeah,
million.
but we're not, right, but we're not, but the defined contribution plan, we wanted to go to what we have, defined benefit plan, I'm sorry, this is a defined contribution.
Right.
Okay, so there's a difference, and so I just want to make sure I had it clear before what we're actually doing, instead of just having a single item. That's it.
Yeah, and from here out, I would like to know when we change vendors, because a lot of these vendors we've had for many years, and if we're going to change them, I would like to know as a commissioner, because I want to get the best person and do some sort of a presentation so we can see what we're getting for our employees.
Before we prove it.
Right, I had thought that had been done a few months back, but I'm not 100% sure.
Was it on our agenda?
Al? Yeah,
We presented,
Go to Edward Jones, correct?
yeah.
we
Yeah.
presented
Okay, maybe
All
I'll-
that.
health. And Danny talked to you.
right, but not anything here before us at the commission.
I think they came in person.
Yeah.
They were here.
They were
No.
here via Zoom the first time because the mayor said, I want to See, the Goering Group. So
Yeah,
the
well,
Goering
that's-
Group came.
No, Gloria Rosen got a letter in the mail and called me and said, why are you
Because-
changing? And we had
That's
never
a Gearing
discussed
Group,
it.
that's not the pension plan.
Sir,
Well, no, I'm just going back to that
Okay,
also.
all right.
But anytime we change,
City
need-
Manager
we would just
Williams
like to discuss it.
met individually with you all in regards to our shift from Mrs. Rosenberg to the Goering Group. We also spoke in those meetings regarding changing Mrs. Rosenberg out for all her services because we found out that during this process, when we were going through all of this, that there were some things that were being missed and that we could have better representation from the people that we went to. That's why we changed her as being our broker. Changing the brokers are free. The Goering Group came in, so they separate. Mr. Al is doing the pension part, and the Goering Group is doing the health. That was spoken to you all individually.
but we got zero presentation after they were changed. We want the presentation before they're changed.
Okay, what next time we'll do that because that wasn't our understanding. So we'll apologize for that.
So I agree. Let's kind of review whether, it all boils down to, do we want to spend another $200,000
In this budget year for
in
this.
this budget?
Well, and also just to look at all the plans, Randy, I mean, it's been a while since we've looked at the retirement plans where, I mean, how many we have, which ones we're no longer contributing to, but we're still responsible because the money's there. And then the defined contribution plan, where is it at? What's happening? Because we used to get a review. And certainly on the percentage amount, there was always more information ahead of time, other than just having it under the consent agenda. That's the only thing. So,
No, and I apologize, because I
Okay.
do know Empower came and spoke with us in person, and
Okay.
I thought this had all been,
okay.
I thought it was just
Well,
done.
I
We
just
didn't-
think, well, and it's, everybody's been so busy and there's been so much going on. That's why I asked for it to be moved so we could have this discussion, especially on the retirement and the future, the risk of it for any, because I've been here when we've had investments that went really, really bad. And, to make up for those investments.
I think my recommendation is not do it. We're cutting 200,000, we don't want to increase. We're cutting a lot of stuff. And I think 200,000, it's not a good time to do it. That's my recommendation.
Well, and maybe with this budget year, we talk about the plans and look at them. I mean, I want to be fair to the city employees, and I
that's-
realized, and I
that's
looked
my
at,
concern.
yeah, I looked at, on average, what they might be, and I don't know, are we requiring employees to do a certain percentage amount? Are we not? I don't know, I mean, maybe we talked about it years ago, but I know we didn't talk about it last year, and here we are this year. And, I agree with Danny, 200,000 is a big hit for this budget, when we've been sharpening the pencil quite a bit, and so,
During our first budget meeting, when we did discuss, like, FRS was at, for our 20 officers, about 350,000. Our part-time firefighters are about 200,000, and the 79 city employees are about 190,000. And so that was
we
where
knew,
the conversation
right,
was.
but those, but the reason why FRS and, those are high risk compared,
absolutely.
and so, but yet, we want to be fair. I mean, anywhere you can look, and they say anywhere from 7% to 12%, average contributions for retirement. Some of that isn't, part of the employee has to help out with that, and I don't know if we're doing that or not, and so, it's just a discussion I felt that we should all have together, and, or a workshop that we can discuss it versus just having this item under the consent agenda, my opinion. That's why I asked for it to be pulled.
I understand the need to pull it and, say now isn't a good time or whatever. I don't love the discrepancy. I understand that they're high-risk positions, but that's a really big discrepancy between FRS and what we offer. My concern is, or my hope, I don't know, is that we can become or continue to be a place that pulls high-quality candidates and keeps them.
And maybe we can do that incrementally versus,
I don't disagree.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't disagree.
I mean, we had to smooth out the insurance budget, because we didn't want it to be a burden all of a sudden to go up for the employees, especially those with families. But it's certainly a discussion we're going to have. And I think the the retirement's going to also be, because you're right, we want to keep good people here. So,
Their hourly wages have gone up quite a bit, so we're
This year.
paying quite well.
Good.
We're drawing people.
Yeah,
So-
and that's, I want to make sure we stay positioned
Right.
that way to bring in.
But I think this year,
qualified
this doesn't
candidates.
need to come about. That's my, I
and
mean, we are cutting, and that's a pretty good increase, and that's, I just don't think it's a good time this year.
well, I think we definitely need to have a workshop on it, and so
Another
hopefully you
question
can.
off subject a little. Did we get the final number from PRM? Is that what you're meeting about this week?
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have
Tomorrow.
the final, so we still don't know that increase.
No.
We think we know it, but hopefully it doesn't go up even more.
But we're not going to completely kick the idea of giving them any type of raise at all, any percentage?
Raises is fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
did.
did the
It's in there.
3%, is that
Yeah,
what we put in
3%.
there?
Okay, good.
And as far as this comment, I don't, however it gets on, whatever the timing is that wants.
Yeah, we definitely got to put the percentage raise into a workshop so we can discuss it and we can get it resolved quickly.
Okay, so for item 5, what's the commission's pleasure to move it to a workshop,
Yes, I think that would be the best thing.
later date? Do you want to try to do it on the,
I think the city manager's recommendation that with this year's budget, I think it's going to be tough to do this.
I
Agreed?
think it's going to be very tough.
And so I think that we should have it after October 1st.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
she needs a motion to fail.
No, a motion not to take action on this, number 5? Okay.
Or was that 2025-39?
Oh, I'm sorry,
39? Okay, I'll make a motion not to consider resolution number 2025-39 and to set a workshop to discuss the city's retirement plan after October 1st.
Second.
Gardner, second by Edmonds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. Commissioner Heislow voting nay. Okay, discussion item number 6, discuss and direct staff on how to proceed with storage on private property. At one of the previous meetings, they run together now, but we decided to separate RV storage from other storage on private property. And I don't know who wants to speak first, Chris, or I don't know if Ms. Kaylee had I know you'd have some info also. So whoever wants to go first.
I'm happy to give you an overview of what you have in front of you right now. So what I did is look over.
Haley, I'm sorry, can I get you to speak closer to the
Oh,
mic?
yeah, is that better?
Only because I've had complaints that they can't hear you when they're watching the.
Gotcha. So what you have in front of you is a comparison guide. What I did is take several of the outdoor storage and RV storage on private property ordinances from some very similar cities, similar sized counties, and look at what they had. So just to give you an overview, what we ended up finding was that a lot of jurisdictions do have them all together. You can decide to separate it or not, but that's what it looks like is all together. Every single one is very, very different. So what I did was take some of the very similar elements. So if you look on pages 2, 3, and 4, you'll see those elements and how each jurisdiction does it differently, and then which jurisdictions do what. So for example, on the temporary storage piece, you'll see everywhere from 48 hours, 24, 72, sometimes 10 days. So this is just kind of to give you an idea of what other places do. When Chris and I started discussing this, we realized we're going to need a little bit more direction than just give you all an ordinance and go for it. So we wanted to make sure that you all saw kind of what the elements are out there and tell us what you want. And there is one correction to the current situation. The current situation is on page 1, and that is what we have in our ordinances right now. You all do have 50-7 as well in the code that is for storage on private property of RVs only. So there are a little bit of provisions that go along with RVs, but nothing that has to do with, for example, a car or a boat trailer or anything like that. So that's what we're looking at.
You gave us more work now.
Well, I wanted to apologize because last time that I came in here, I read an ordinance that had been later amended that I didn't find it, and I was told whenever I got back to my office that I read the wrong amendment or the wrong ordinance. I agree with Ms. Tuck. We have it in Chapter 50, which is manufactured homes, manufactured homes, and mobile home parks, recreational vehicles, and commercial vehicles. That's the chapter that we have storage and private property. It's kind of weird that it's in there. Like it should be separated because that's dealing with units that people live in, but then we put a unit that somebody's not allowed to live in at the bottom of the chapter. It's really goofy that it's in there, in my opinion. So I think that what we're suggesting is that we create a whole chapter that just goes over a whole section of the ordinance that just discusses storage, because in this context, we're not letting them live in it, but it's in a chapter where they're living in them. So it's a little goofy. And then because I read the wrong ordinance, then I went back and I found some YouTube videos of you guys discussing things, trying to figure out where y'all's heads were so that we could sit down and design this. And there was some ping pong back and forth to backyard, front yard, setbacks, no setbacks, concrete pad, hookups, utility. Like it was back and forth that I couldn't get any clear direction from you. That's why I called the workshop, to hear what you guys actually want before we invest a ton of time into designing an ordinance that isn't what y'all want.
I mean, I know we've been talking about this, and there's been a lot of ping pong back and forth, and I'm glad that you, Kaylee, you and Danny and Chris are looking at this, because I think it really needs to be resolved. And I agree that I had no idea that our ordinance that we just approved is in livable structure. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
That doesn't not make sense. And so I'm gonna need more time to go through this. I don't know. I know we had a lot of pictures at one time, but I do know that as it's still right around the community, we're still not catching what I would say are probably the issues that do not improve our appearance in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I think kind of the direction that we're wanting is, we discussed some hookups the other day. I've had campers. I keep my power hooked up to it so I can run the AC in it. The second that there's sewer hooked up to it and water hooked up to it, you could assume somebody's living in there.
Right.
But it's not really fair to say that you can't plug it in, because then next time you go camping, you're going to have to spend 3 hours cleaning the mold and mildew out of it. So that's a discussion for y'all to have. I'm not saying that one way is right or one way is wrong. That's a discussion to have. Front yard, backyard. I personally don't like them in the front yard, but I'm not y'all. Danny personally doesn't like them in the backyard because code enforcement can't see if they're hooked up. There's an argument to both sides of it, but that's a discussion to have. So I'm kind of just wanting some direction as to, do y'all like them in the front yard? Do you like them in the backyard? Do you want them on a concrete pad? Do you want hookups on them? That way, I promised you guys that I was going to have some stuff to show you at this meeting, and then I sat back and I looked and I'm like, there's no way to get it all ready in 4 days. So that's why I don't have anything to present to you. Just kind of wanted to discuss it so that I can know what y'all want in it.
Yeah, pictures already.
We've got pictures.
No
We've
doubt.
seen pictures.
I mean, definitely, I don't, if it's not livable, I mean, I can understand the electric, because you gotta be able to have, you have an RV, right?
No.
No? Who has an RV? Does anybody? I mean, I know you have one, but I would think that somebody who has an RV would like to turn on the air conditioning every once in a while to keep it.
I think you leave it on like all the time.
Oh, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Do you leave your AC on in your
I mean,
RV?
I run it at like 75 or 76, 77 degrees. I don't keep it super cold because I'm not rich.
But definitely no water and no sewer to a RV. I mean, it's a recreational vehicle that should be able to be moved at any time. And if it's in,
And I think if you're reasonable, I mean, if someone you know, if Mario has to go out because, you know, I see a hose going to my neighbor's RV and he stops by and they're like, oh no, look, we're cleaning and filling our holding tank, you know, whatever, then
We're not going to be able to
Yeah.
catch everyone
you
living
can't
in
be
an RV.
unreasonable.
No, but a water
But-
hose is fine. I mean,
Right.
but the hookup for sewer, that's
Yeah,
a,
right, no, that's totally different.
We'll
Or
catch
for-
the ones we can. I mean, if they're in the backyard living in there and we're not allowed to go in, we're not going to catch them. It's going to be very difficult. We can have the ordinance and then enforce it when we can see it. But I think it's what we need to do is decide front yard, backyard, how many, and do they have to be parked on a paved or hard surface? And that will at least be a start for the RV part. And then to go over the rest of storage on private property, we will need a workshop. Can they put a boat and a mowing trailer and an open trailer and then 4 family vehicles all parked on the grass in front of the house? That makes it look not too good, but it's their property. Can they do it? That's what we'll have to decide.
you're not talking about the right of way, or are you talking about the right of way?
No, I say no right away.
Front yard, like,
Especially for commercial vehicles, like Benton.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably wasn't supposed to say that, but anyway.
But definitely the right of way, I mean, here I am saying that, it could be another workshop. You know, I think we really need to discuss it.
RVs maybe requiring them with a foundation, concrete, would deter quite a few. I mean, if we make that in the ordinance, I would believe, and plus it keeps it neat. I mean, you see some of them around town, they're very nice. I don't have a problem with those. But the deal is, we are getting people that's living in them. We got one right over here that turned into Mario, I think, this morning.
In the front
And-
yard,
You know, they're in the back.
backyard.
Yeah, but you can see them. I mean, it's straight back. I watched them go in this, the other day, I think, but
but can you have an ordinance to where if they are in the backyard, that we could go in and check them?
I don't think so.
No, ma'am.
I mean, Kaylee, I guess you're the attorney. I mean, if they have anything in the backyard, whether it's a shed, whether it's a RV, whether it's storage for cars that no longer run, I mean, is there anything that
I'm pretty sure Tom was telling us a few weeks ago when I guess it was months ago now, we were discussing the RV situation. Without probable cause of them doing something wrong in their backyard, they can't go back there. Like, it puts us in a really bad spot with the RVs in the backyard. Anything short of them doing something wrong and us being able to see it, or the police being able to see it and catching them, we can't go back there.
unless you only allow chain link fences that you can see in the backyard? I mean, because, we've got people who have sheds that are now enclosing and fencing their property. Well, we can't see what's going on in that shed, whether they're living in it or renting it, because we've seen rentals of sheds, not in the city, outside the city. But that's, it's not just the RVs, it's also the sheds that are coming in.
Good point, the one inside the city, 2.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're renting, I don't know if anybody's living in them, but I know I saw one that was rental property, $1,100 a month for a shed
Oh, right.
outside the city limits. I think that's also got to be part of the workshop and discussion. And I've seen some RVs in front yards that are right on the sidewalk, and right beside the house. And, that to me, there's no setback there. And they look, they've been there for years and haven't been moved on the grass.
Well, and the right beside the house thing, that's a problem for fire, right?
But
Yes, ma'am. Anything permanently stored within 6 feet of an egress window is violation of code, fire code.
So do we want to have the workshop with everything, or one just doing RVs?
The RVs keep going. It's
think we
never,
need to
it's
do
never
everything.
ending, the RVs.
You may want to consider yards, the size of yards. I mean, in certain areas, you got very small yards, and the only place they can put them is in the front or on the side, and they really don't do anything with them. So maybe consider yard size. You have to have a particular size. I mean, it's not fair probably to some people, but I mean, again, you want to keep your area clean, so people on the north side have bigger yards, And you got this over here where they're trying to squeeze these things in. We had a mobile home practically. I think it was on Haiti. I mean, it was a 60-foot mobile home. Now it's gone, but I mean, this guy had it anchored down and everything. You just, it is what it is. But I think I think we really need to stick to our guns and make it tight. I think RVs should be sitting on concrete. That's one thing you got to do. It's side yard, backyard. I'm fine with that, but I think that should be a requirement. Way it keeps it, where they don't let the grass grow or it kills the grass and the neighbor gets mad. I mean, some of them on the north side, they have them on concrete. They don't look that bad. They're not living in them, but they have water hooked to them and power.
I have a question. Madeira Beach is quoted quite a bit. Is it because of the size of the town? Is that comparable, or just seem that?
I think it's more the vacation rental side. Madeira Beach has a lot of vacation rentals and a lot of the situations y'all are discussing about living in the RVs. I will say Madeira Beach has a very comprehensive outdoor storage on private property ordinance, so that's the one that I started with and then looked at the variations from there.
I like the one from Madeira Beach. Must be paved, shell rock, gravel, or other dustless surface.
Yeah. Concrete pads are expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're not going to come to any conclusion tonight, so let's set a date, maybe after we're done with the budget.
Sure.
I mean, our current, they do have to have a valid tag on the RV right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we would probably love to say let them do whatever they want with their RVs, but the bad apples are living and renting them out. They're ruining it for everybody.
That's the tough
So, I
part.
mean-
I don't think there's a perfect solution to this issue because you don't want to limit people that are not exercising malfeasance, but then you do want to limit those that are. But it's hard to draw a line in the sand without hurting people that are just storing it to take it camping once a month. It's a tricky, in my opinion, it's a tricky ordinance.
Well, but I like a lot of what Madeira Beach is doing. I mean, you must have current registration and match name of property owner. I mean,
That's a good one, yeah.
and then also, that they've got some kind of staging area, maybe not concrete, Danny, but something that's, that's there. I mean, there's a few good things here. I mean, I'm gonna look them up, but I'm gonna need more time to make some, but definitely, I think no water hookup or sewer hookup. I'm fine with electric, and if they need their water hose to do whatever
Yeah.
they need to do, I think that's great.
Well, they could hook it up, do their thing, and
Yeah.
unhook
Well, in code enforcement, Mario's pretty reasonable. If he drives by on Tuesday and sees a hose hooked up, he's probably going to drive by on Thursday and see if it's still there. If they hooked it up for a couple minutes, he's not going to run in and sling the hammer at him, I don't think.
Oh, there's too many. Right now.
We talked about limiting as well, and this does say, like Sebring has no more than 2 recreational vehicles at any given time. I know we limited it, but I'd like to go back and look at our code along with this. So I think a workshop is definitely in order.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we should have more more than one RV in your front yard. I mean, at which point, there's a house right down here on the corner. He's got a 30-foot boat, a 35-foot RV, a 20-foot boat, 2 commercial trailers, and it's just as packed in there as he can possibly get it in that backyard. I think
On
putting
the
a limit on
fence.
it would be.
But you can see the vehicles from the road because they're higher than the fence.
And to the extent it's helpful with the Sebring jurisdiction, recreational vehicle is defined as any recreational vehicle. So it's your boat plus trailer, it's your RV, it's side by sides, it's things like that. So it's not just RV. It's literally any recreational vehicle that's not a car, truck, van.
But we do have to consider what this will do to people with golf carts
Well, and boats.
and boats.
I got an
Yeah.
RV, and I got a boat, and I got a golf cart. What do I do,
Yeah.
We don't want to restrict, but we're looking for aesthetics, and we're looking for cluttering, non-cluttering.
Not having a junkyard. I mean,
Junkyard.
I think there's a,
Some houses with a beautiful RV, well-kept, parked on the concrete, and the boat the same. I mean, it looks fine, but it's hard to police that.
And that's the hard
And
part.
saying you're sloppy and he's not. I mean,
Because I'm inclined to say, I mean, to some extent, they bought this property. You know, like,
right.
it feels very un-American to be
Right.
like, now this is what you can and can't put on it, you know? But I understand the aesthetic issue as well, so it's tough.
and there's a lot of cities that have deed restrictions like that. You can't park a commercial vehicle. I mean, you couldn't even park a city truck in some communities, but that's what they want there.
right.
So we've got to decide what's best for our community, and we're open to input
Yeah.
from you people watching, anyone.
And for our workshop, we're gonna also discuss sheds, right? We're gonna have that in there. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then,
all right.
and then commercial property storage, like all the
And those
used tires that
commercial
are stacked
trailers.
up and junk vehicles on commercial property.
Kaylee, on the used tires, do you know what state law, I mean, isn't there a person that comes from the state down, or there's a contractor with the state that picks up tires? Do you, can,
Nothing's coming to the top of my head, but I can certainly look into it.
I think that, at one time I was told, Chris, you might know, that there's a contractor with the state of Florida, or several contractors, and they come through the towns and they pick up, or they, I guess, have a business transaction with whoever's got all those tires, and they take them. That was years ago, so it might have changed, so.
I bought 5 acres in LaBelle, and everybody in LaBelle used it as a dumping ground, and I'd spent about $8,000 hauling tires off of that property.
Yeah.
I couldn't find no such company.
Okay, yeah, but I think that's what I was told previously, so.
Didn't you say our ordinance said they had to be covered?
Yeah, we do, in the 27 district, it says that no outdoor storage is allowed. But where we're having an issue is non-conforming as opposed to in violation. Because that's what we're kind of trying to dig through, is if they've been there for 20 years and they've been storing tires for 20 years, are they non-conforming or are they in violation? So Kaylee and I are trying to work through that right now.
Okay.
Should the P and Z board be at this workshop as well? When we discuss it?
Well, maybe what I can do is kick this off of them and get some recommendations from them to bring to the workshop for
Okay.
y'all, so that we can see kind of where their mind is going and put a couple different sets of eyes on it.
Which they already have met, so there might be something already written previously, so you can check out their.
I can do some digging and present it to
This has been
them.
going on for a couple of years, so.
Yeah, I've already got the next P and Z agenda set up, so I wouldn't be able to, I don't think I'd be able to get it in on that, would I, Lakeisha? Next Tuesday, I think. If we can get it on the next agenda for discussion with the P and Z, I will. Otherwise, I would have to wait till the next one. So,
Probably not gonna have a workshop till after October, right? October 1st?
Yeah.
y'all are probably exhausted and ready for a break. Totally different subject, but I wanted to touch base on it. There's been some discussion on modulars and wanting to get some clarity on it. I'm going to advise the board not to touch it. We're legally, according to Florida Legislature 55338, we're not allowed to consider a modular unit different than a site-built structure. Legally, it's prohibited. We cannot. Application and scope. The department shall enforce every provision of the Florida Building Code adopted pursuant hereto, except that local use and zoning requirements, fire zones, building setback requirements, side and rear yard requirements, site development requirements, property line requirements, subdivision control, and on-site installation requirements, as well as review and regulation of architectural and aesthetic requirements, are specifically and entirely reserved to local authorities. Such local requirements and rules which may be enacted by local authorities must be reasonable and uniformly applied and enforced without any distinction to whether the building is conventionally constructed or manufactured building. We can't touch it. We can't put restrictions on a modular that we wouldn't put on a site-built home.
So they have to meet the state building codes.
They do, once they meet state building code, and then we have in our ordinance, 110-530, we require a 412 pitch. We require a 16-inch overhang. We require a covered entryway. Those requirements still apply to a modular home. But we can't put any superseding requirements that apply to a modular that don't apply to a site-built structure. Or we'll probably get ourselves in some hot water with state law.
And you said that was state law 553-18?
38, 553-38.
38.
So that was one that I told you I was going to get some ordinances drawn up, but I wanted to sharpen my pencil before I brought it to you guys, and I don't want to touch it.
So as long as we apply it to everything, though, we're legal.
Exactly.
You'll look at that too, since I'm going to say you know more than he does about the law.
Right.
Nothing intended
Right.
bad. And just make sure that when we do apply, that we apply it to everything. So we can do the overhangs and things like you said.
Yes, we already have that in place. Yes, sir.
And the only other thing with the modular is the gap between the bottom of the modular to the ground.
Which Hendry County has. Only 16 inches of unfinished foundation is allowed to be seen, allowed to be visible from the curb. That's a Hendry County ordinance. We can include that in the,
Don't they, but they have a skirting requirement, don't they?
that would be considered finished. That would be considered a finished product. Like on a modular, you stack blocks up, whether you go 30 inches or
Okay,
12 inches,
okay.
only 16 inches of it is allowed to be unfinished block. Anything above that would have to be siding carried down or stucco or something to finish it off. We could include that, and that would apply to, say, not a monolithic slab, but a stem wall slab. You have blocks that stick up out of the ground, and they're not allowed to be unfinished. So we could do that, and it would apply to a site-built structure as well as to a modular.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion.
Okay, so same subject but different area. What can we do with the ones we have in town now, since supposedly they don't meet Florida Building Code?
That's up to an engineer. Once the engineer says that they meet Florida Building Code, they meet Florida
How
Building
long
Code.
can we let them sit there until we get that determination?
We have an appointment in front of the magistrate tomorrow
Okay, awesome.
regarding this. I rushed it to the table at their request as well as to get a resolution for
Okay.
the situation. So tomorrow, we should have our answer from the magistrate.
If it comes up, just, you can pass along the sentiments of the board that the faster, the better for us. You don't need to come back and ask us what to do, right? I mean, you know.
If the
Right.
magistrate says that they don't belong, they don't belong.
Okay.
That'll be pretty simple, unless further legal action is pursued.
Okay.
Once the magistrate speaks, that's kind of the law at that point. So, which I will stay in touch with Danny regarding that. But if the magistrate gives a green light, our hands are tied on that, I think. Maybe.
Okay, we're good. Anything else? Let me go back to the agenda here.
Just so we're clear on the workshop, is there any way that we can present information to you all that would be more helpful to make the workshop as productive as possible? Do you like this? Do you like something different?
I liked this because I feel like I can literally go through and like circle ones that I think would be.
Right.
I was actually going to
Helpful.
say, if you guys wanted to go through individually and circle the ones that you like and kind of cherry pick your ordinance and send it to me, I can compile the ones that you guys most agree on. And then whenever we come for the workshop, I can say 4 out of 5 of you agreed on this. This is the one that most of you disagreed on. That way we can get straight to the meat of the conversation. I don't mind organizing that for you.
Okay.
So,
Well, this is very helpful because it also gives me other places and I can go to the website and look at what they've got. So yeah, very beneficial this is. And I will circle and get back with
and
you and Danny.
y'all can get my email address from Danny, or it's Christopher.Cooper.
All right, well, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, we'll move on to staff comments. City manager?
Yeah, I've got an announcement to make. I've promoted someone to Director of Operations, and that's going to be Lynn Milam.
Congratulations.
I think she's well worth it. She's proven herself over these years, and we've been basically been a team for 12 years. Someone we communicate with quite well, and I look forward to working with her.
Yeah. And thank you for your budget presentation the other day.
Yeah,
That
did
was
an
good.
excellent job.
Yeah,
Yes, awesome job.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lynn.
Congratulations, Lynn.
That's it for me. I'm good.
All right, good. City Attorney?
No comments.
Okay, Commissioner comments. Commissioner, we'll start at the end. Pardon?
Can we have a CRA board meeting next week?
Oh, yeah.
Monday, we're already here at 2:00 for the budget workshop. So after that,
We can do it on, Monday. We're here.
I love Monday meetings.
yeah.
Do you need a motion?
So Monday at 5 or before the 2:00 one?
No, not before 5.
I would think it'd have to be, 5 would be,
Also, Mr. Fleshman, Mr. Boris wanted to meet when you all have a chance to give you an update on the comprehensive plan.
Who is this? I'm sorry.
Mr.
New planner.
Fleshman, yeah, and Mr. Boris. But the thing about that is Tuesday was their only available next week, so we can push it off, but it's up to you all.
I know Jason just said Tuesdays aren't good for you unless it's in the evening.
No, it's fine. I can, as long as, I got some time to schedule, I can do that.
I mean, if we're gonna
I would rather not have a meeting 2 evenings back to back.
Yeah.
Personally.
Understandable.
We can push it like how far to the following week? I mean, see what they're available.
Okay, I know they were available on the 26th, which is that Tuesday. But I'll see the week after that.
We have the budget meeting or hearing is on the 4th. Could we do it before then?
I'm sorry, the,
Budget hearings at 5:01 on the 4th?
on the
we-
10th,
No, I gotta
it
move
moved to the 10th.
Remember?
Moved it.
Oh, the 10th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's moved to the 10th.
But maybe check September 2nd. That would be like the next Tuesday.
You want it, and what about,
Or the 10th, the day we do the
Can we
hearing.
do it on the 10th?
Well, I
yeah, I'll find out what dates they're available, and I'll send them to you all.
The 10th works.
And let's do the CRA meeting at 3 PM. We can always stop the budget workshop and reconvene it. That way we can get that done, and that way if we finish early.
We're not
before
here till
We're
5.
not here.
So you want to do the CRA at 2, and then we'll be done. It should take about 30,
Yeah, it shouldn't
45
take
minutes,
as
and
long.
then
That
immediate
works.
following, start the budget.
Yes, ma'am, let's do that.
That's on the 25th.
I was wondering if the budget would take 3 hours again.
It might.
It might.
But the CRA shouldn't take long.
No, sir.
Have money there.
Yeah.
It's a fun account.
We just want somebody to spend it.
That's Monday,
Yeah, Monday the
o'clock.
25th at 2 PM.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
2 PM.
Yes, ma'am, 2 PM. Okay, now Commissioner Williams.
Comments? Want to go back kind of to what we voted on earlier. I was just thinking about the 3%, the 3 to 6% that Randy was talking about. I hate that they're going to get nothing. In my head, I was thinking we were just voting to not give them that 3%, not voting to give them nothing at all. I hated that it went to, we completely shot item 5 out.
No, they get the 3%. This was benefit,
They're at
basically.
6%, right?
Right, we wanted to go from 6 to 9,
But in
correct?
the retirement.
In the retirement.
Yeah.
But we voted to shoot that out completely and not even go up 1% from 6 to 7 or to 8 to 9. I kind of hated that, honestly, for the employees. I know we are making the Doge cuts across the city is what we're going to call them. So I do see it on both levels. I do hate it for the employees, although, yeah, I just hate it for the employees on that one. Other than that, it's football season. You guys definitely need to support what we have going on here locally. It's golf season as well. I'm cranking up out of golf season. You need to come out to the course and support these kids. They're playing like twice a week, whether it's here or they're traveling. I've got like 6 or 7 home matches here. We never had that many for home matches.
Can somebody send us a schedule or?
I will definitely get it all. Our football team's kicking off Friday night, a home game here, and we're playing Palm Beach Prep. So other than that, I think I'm pretty good with everything that's going on. I'm happy with the discussion we had today, budget wise. So I'm pretty good. Had a great time at Florida League of Cities. Actually, I got flooded with emails. I shook too many people's hands at those booths, man. But it was good. I think I'm going to get some good networking connections out of that.
All right, Commissioner Edmonds?
I'm good.
All right, Commissioner
I have
Gardner?
nothing, thank you.
Okay. 2 things. Tomorrow, the social at the CPAC at 5 o'clock. It'd be a great opportunity for us to look at it and for the community to see what all the services that they're providing. It's a nonprofit, so I think it'd be great, and they've worked hard on that building. I know Danny and staff have worked with them as well to make it, a really nice place for activities. And then I was up at the lake, and I was talking to Danny about it. The Lions Club of Clewiston donated a viewer, a tower viewer. You know how you used to go to places and you could look out and see like the Statue of Liberty and all that from Manhattan. Well, they've got a nice viewer for the lake, and then, they did it specifically because they are, they want people to see things, and with their eyesight is one of their main function of vision. So I think it's a great addition to the community. I didn't stop, it was raining, but I look forward to going back, and hopefully they'll have an event up there that we can celebrate. So that's all I have.
Vice Mayor, did you have anything?
I do not, thank you.
Are they gonna dedicate the bridge? Did we ever decide?
We're
if we
probably
were doing a
going
ribbon
to,
cutting?
when we meet in LaBelle, Screvens asked me, I'll probably get up and ask Pasadena.
It's on the 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Yeah,
I'll
September
probably
16th at,
Speak on
yeah.
If they
setting
don't,
that
we'll
up.
just do our own little thing, maybe, just for the
Well,
city, but I
yeah.
hope they would come.
Yeah,
Help
so,
us get the appropriations for it.
yep.
And then I had one other person ask me about the Ventura project. I just want to get a quick update. Do you know where we are as far as?
Well,
getting-
we are close to bidding. They're gonna, they asked me about a few things, and we did a walkthrough, and it should be soon going to bid. So, yes. Yep. And we are gonna tie in the CRA funding to the side streets here as some of our potential to redo Bond Street, the signage, and pretty much that's it. And Dean Dove, Commercio, Central, we'll tie it all in, try to create that downtown.
Then the building board, so we can deem some of these buildings derelict, is how far are we in getting our building board organized?
You have a building board, and Leslie, I think we're supposed to contact you and set up a meeting to swear you all in, and you have your first meeting. So at this moment, all our boards are up and running. I may come back in regards to the CRA because we got 2 resignations. And I may ask you, can we send that board down from 7 to 5? But it has to be done through
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
resolution.
Send the board back to what?
Instead of having 7 members, I'm going to ask, can we have 5?
Who resigned, may I ask?
Ms. Maxon and Ms. Thompson.
If anyone has names, if anyone's watching and you're interested, we may even have applicants that still have them in that maybe haven't been chosen for a board.
I'm just going to say this, sir. I understand why you all may have done 7, but it's very hard with 7. It's very hard with 5. So if you all will, please consider not doing it, but actually changing the resolution from 7 to 5. That's a lot of people you have to wrangle together and keep, and if you don't have a
On
quorum,
task.
yeah, it's a lot.
I'm fine with 5. I just,
Okay.
we can get a better cross-section
too.
of people.
with 5 as well.
Okay. Because we have a good group. They do meet, we have conversation, but 5, I believe, is where you should stop when you come to boards.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion.
Well, if you need to bring a resolution back at the next,
Next meeting?
even if we have to do a special meeting, you're more
We
than
don't
welcome.
have to, I'll make sure it's there for the 10th,
Okay.
though. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have. If no one has anything else, motion to adjourn?